What is advertising? Is it something to be viewed as a work of excellence or workmanship? Is it astute trademarks or interesting composition? Is it workmanship to be decided for an honor or acknowledgement? It's nothing from what was just mentioned. Publicizing is charisma duplicated. That's it. So the objective at that point turns out to be, how might we make our publicizing as powerful as could really be expected? The appropriate response is to test. Test once more. And afterward test some more. Assuming promotion, A, gets a 2% reaction rate, and advertisement, B, gets 3%, at that point we can find that promotion, B, will keep on beating promotion, A, for a bigger scope. Testing requires some investment, nonetheless, and can be costly if not held within proper limits. Consequently, it's ideal to begin for certain demonstrated tried-known thoughts and work from that point. For instance, if testing has appeared for quite a long time or more that focused promoting essentially outflanks untargeted publicizing, and it does, at that point we can begin with that presumption and go from that point. In the event that we realize dependent on test outcomes that making a promotion that talks straightforwardly to an individual performs in a way that is better than tending to the majority, once more, it does, at that point it looks bad to begin testing with the supposition that it doesn't. This is good judgment. Zero in on him, not you. When a possibility peruses your promotion, letter, leaflet, and so on, the one thing he will be pondering from the beginning is, how might this benefit me? What's more, if your duplicate doesn't advise him, it'll land in the garbage quicker than he can peruse the feature or lead. A ton of publicists commit this error. They center around him as an organization. How long they've been doing business, who the greatest clients are, the manner by which they've gone through 10 years of exploration and a huge number of dollars on building up this item, blah, blah. All things considered, those focuses are significant. Yet, they ought to be communicated such that is important to your expected client. Keep in mind, whenever he's tossed it in the trash, the deal is lost. Accentuate benefits, not features. What are highlights? They are portrayals of what characteristics an item has. The XYZ vehicle conveys 55 miles for each gallon in the city. Our stepping stool's casing is produced using a lightweight strong steel compound. Our stick is ensured by a patent. This dataset has an implicit information mining framework. Also, what are benefits? They are what those highlights intend to your possibilities. You'll get a good deal on gas and cut down on ecological poisons when you utilize our energy-saving superior half-breed vehicle. Also, you'll feel the additional oomph when you're passing vehicles, graciousness of the proficient electric engine, which they try not to have. Lightweight sturdy steel combination outline implies you'll have the option to take it effortlessly, and use it in spots most different stepping stools can't go, while as yet supporting as much as 800 pounds. No more spinal pains dragging around that hefty stepping stool. Also, it'll keep going for a very long time, so you'll never have to purchase another stepping stool again. Patent-secured stick guarantees you can utilize it on wood, plastic, metal, clay, glass, and tile, without muddled cleanup and while never having to re-stick it again. Ensured. You can right away see the higher perspective covered up in your information, and pull the most little-known insights on interest. Watch your business do a 180 in a matter of seconds, when you immediately realize why it's weak in any case. It's completely finished with our underlying data mining framework that is so natural to utilize. My 12-year-old child utilized it effectively directly out of the container. Press their emotional hot buttons. This is the place where research truly pays off. Since to press those catches, you need to initially understand what they are. Tune into this story first, and I'll mention to you what I mean. Once upon a period, a young fellow strolled into a Chevrolet seller's display area to look at a Chevy Camaro. He had the cash, and he was prepared to settle on a purchasing choice. In any case, he was unable to choose if he needed to purchase the Camaro or the Ford Mustang up the street at the Ford vendor. Fusing proof and believability. At the point when your possibility peruses your advertisement, you need to ensure he accepts any cases you make about your item or administration. Since, supposing that there's any uncertainty in his psyche, he will not nibble, regardless of how sweet the arrangement. Indeed, the unrealistic attitude will for all intents and purposes ensure a lost deal, regardless of whether it is all evident. So how would you be able to deal with increment the view of authenticity? Since all things considered, it's the insight you need to address in advance. Obviously you likewise should ensure your duplicate is precise and honest. Here are some attempted and tried strategies that will help. If you're managing existing clients who definitely realize you convey is guaranteed, underscore that trust. Try not to surrender it to them to sort it out. Make them stop, chicken their heads, and say, goodness, definitely. The ABC company has never treated me terribly. I can confide in them. Include tributes of fulfilled clients. Make certain to put complete names and areas, where conceivable. Keep in mind, AS is significantly less conceivable than Andy Sherman, Voorhees, NJ. If you can likewise incorporate an image of the client as well as an expert title, that is shockingly better. It doesn't make any difference that your tributes aren't from someone well known or that your possibility doesn't have the foggiest idea about these individuals by and by. On the off chance that you have enough convincing tributes, and they're trustworthy, you're obviously superior to excluding them by any stretch of the imagination. Pepper your duplicate with realities and examination discoveries to help your cases. Make certain to credit all sources, regardless of whether the truth of the matter is regular information, in light of the fact that an impartial source goes far towards validity. The unique selling proposition, USP. Otherwise called the one-of-a-kind selling position, the USP is frequently perhaps the most frequently misconstrued components of a decent direct mail advertisement. It's which isolates your item or administration from your rivals. We should investigate some special selling recommendations for an item itself. Lowest price, if you have the corner advertised on spending costs, parade it. Walmart has put this USP on the map of late, yet it's not unfamiliar to them. Truth be told, selling for less expensive has been around as long as free enterprise itself. By and by, I'm not obsessed with value wars, since somebody can generally go along and sell for less expensive. At that point it's the ideal opportunity for another methodology. Superior quality, if it beats your rival's item or is made with more excellent materials, it's a decent wager that you could utilize this reality for your potential benefit. For instance, contrast Breyer's ice cream with their competitors. From the bundling to the healthy prevalent fixings, the quality is clear. It might cost somewhat more than their rival's frozen yogurt, yet for their market, it sells. Superior service, if you offer better assistance over your competitors, individuals will purchase from you all things being equal. This is particularly obvious with specific business sectors that are about help. Significant distance, internet specialist co-ops, digital TV, and so forth. Exclusive rights, my top choice. On the off chance that you can authentically guarantee that your item is secured by a patent or copyright, permitting arrangement, and so on, at that point you have a champ for restrictive rights. On the off chance that you have a patent, even the President of the US should get it from you. The headline. In case you will roll out a solitary improvement to support your reaction rate the most, center around your feature, you do have one, don't you? Why? Since five-fold the number of individuals read your feature than your duplicate. Simply, a feature is an advertisement for your promotion. Individuals will not stop their bustling lives to peruse your duplicate except if you give them a valid justification to do as such. So a decent feature guarantees some news and an advantage. Maybe you're thinking, what's this about information, you say? Consider the last time you perused your nearby paper. You looked at the articles individually, and infrequently an advertisement may have gotten your attention. Which promotions were the ones well on the way to grab your attention? The ones that seemed as though an article, obviously. The ones with the feature that guaranteed news. The ones with text styles and type that firmly looked like the text styles and type utilized in articles. The ones that were set where articles were set, instead of being set on a full page of advertisements, for instance. What's more, the ones with the most convincing features that persuaded you it merits a couple of moments to peruse the duplicate. The more you tell, the more you sell. The discussion on utilizing long duplicate versus short duplicate never appears to end. Generally it is a newcomer to copywriting who assumes that long duplicate is exhausting and, well, long. I could never peruse that much duplicate, they say. The truth is that taking everything into account, long duplicate will outflank short duplicate without fail. What's more, when I say long duplicate, I don't mean long and exhausting, or long and untargeted. The individual who says he could never peruse all that duplicate is making a major mixing up in copywriting. He is going with his gut response as opposed to depending on test outcomes. He is imagining that he, at the end of the day, is the possibility. He's most certainly not. We're never our own possibilities. There have been numerous investigations and part tests led on the long duplicate versus short duplicate discussion. Also, the unmistakable champ is in every case long duplicate. Yet, that is focused on significant long duplicate rather than untargeted exhausting long duplicate. The structure of AIDAS. There's a well-known structure in successful sales letters, described by the acronym AIDA. AIDA stands for attention, interest, desire, action, conclusion. Extraordinary duplicate is made, not conceived. It is gotten from demonstrated test outcomes intended to do a certain something and do it well, sell. Successful publicizing doesn't generally utilize syntactically right English. It utilizes short sentences, parts. Like this. It persuades you to purchase, and purchase now. That is all. It discusses benefits, not highlights. It sells on feeling and strengthens the choice to purchase with rationale. It paints a convincing picture and overwhelming offer that powers your possibility to act and act now. Also, on the off chance that it doesn't, at that point you drop that advertisement like a hot potato and go with one that does. Viable influence resembles your top salesman, the person who keeps on breaking every one of your business records a seemingly endless amount of time after year, hands-on 24/7, duplicated by thousands or millions. Simply envision if that sales rep, the one with demonstrated outcomes, could be increased however much you needed.